The number of airlines we have is steadily declining. This is a problem in every single sector, industrial sector, business sector in the United States. The number of restaurants, the number of retail chains, the number of manufacturers of various products, the number of electronic firms, the number of web-based, whatever you're looking at, any industry where there's money to be made, what you will find is that by and large, the small companies are all gone, or at least the medium-sized companies. They've been bought out by the big guys. And so, you know, for example, with airlines, back in 2001, just 13 years ago, there were 10 major airlines flying in the U.S. and a few minor ones. It was American, TWA, America West, U.S. Airways, Delta, Northwest, United Continental, Southwest, and AirTran. But then in 2001, American Airlines bought out TWA. In 2005, America West bought up U.S. Airways and kept the U.S. Airways name, thought that was a better name. In 2008, Delta began merging with Northwest. In 2010, United and Continental merged. Now American and U.S. Airways are merging. So what we're seeing here is that in less than 15 years, the competition in the airline industry, the major competition in the airline industry in the United States, has gone from 10 carriers down to 4. Now, this, as I said, this is not unique to the airline industry. You're seeing the same thing in the, you know, in food. You know, the primary producers of food. You've got Cargill and ADI. You've got a couple of very, very large companies that are the major producers of grain. You've got a couple of very large companies that are the major producers of chicken and beef. You've got a couple of very large companies that are the major producers of soy and corn and well, I guess that goes with the grain. And then you've got, you know, the producers of the final product. You know, Yum Foods seems to own everybody. From Taco Bell to, I believe, Burger King and whatnot. You walk into a shopping center or a mall or a downtown anywhere in the country, and what do you see? Oh, there's another TGI Fridays. There's another, you know, jewelry store chain, part of a national chain. There's another retail store, part of a national chain. We don't have local businesses anymore. We don't have small businesses anymore. And the result, and the consequence of this is that while inflation has officially not gone up that much, I mean, you know, 2.1% for this year, the cost of living actually has been going up because inflation includes wages. In fact, it's one of the major numbers that are plugged into the formula to determine wages or to determine inflation. And wages have been flat basically since Ronald Reagan took office, for everybody except CEOs. They've exploded for the CEOs and the banksters. But for everybody else, not so much. And so we're paying more and we're getting less right across the board. It is time, in my opinion, to just basically repudiate the 8 years of the Reagan administration. We talked about his tax cuts yesterday and how they set us up for bubble bust, you know, boom bust cycles. We've gone through 3 of them. We're in another one right now. And now I find this interesting. Craig Shirley, who has been a guest on this program, he's got a Shirley Public Relations. He's got a right-wing PR firm, basically. There's a new book that Rick Perlstein wrote, who I believe is like, you know, I think he won a Pulitzer. But whatever it is, Perlstein is, you know, a serious reporter. Yeah, he's award-winning. It says historian Rick Perlstein about Reagan. Brand new book coming out about Reagan. And Craig Shirley has threatened to sue for $25 million in damages and asked for all copies of the book to be destroyed. I'm not making this up. The title of the book is Invisible Bridge, and the subtitle is The Fall of Richard Nixon and the Rise of Ronald Reagan. And there's a fascinating piece over at MediaMatters.org about this. The New York Times gave the book a glowing review. They called it an epic work. And then Paul Krugman weighed in, saying that the smear campaign that has been organized by the right against Rick Perlstein for daring to write a biography of Ronald Reagan that actually told the truth of what happened in the Reagan years. And you'll recall, I started by saying that there's no more competition anywhere. The first few years of the Reagan administration were characterized by this explosion of mergers and acquisition activity, because in '82, Reagan basically instructed the Justice Department to stop enforcing the Sherman Antitrust Act. Just 3 years before, the breakup of AT&T had been completed during the Carter administration. 3, 4, 5 years before, whenever it was during Jimmy Carter's 4 years. A process that had been initiated during the Nixon administration. So it took quite some time. And, AT&T got broken up, and that was it. Reagan said, we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to break up big companies. In fact, we're going to let companies get as big as they want. And so you had, Michael Milken, you had all these M&A artists, they called themselves, mergers and acquisitions guys. There were a lot of other words that they were described by. It's one of the legacies of the Reagan presidency. But so there's this smear campaign against Rick Perlstein that Paul Krugman says is grotesque and sliming and spurious. He said this tactic should be punctured by the press, not given momentum with opinions differ on shape of the planet reporting. Right. It's really pretty amazing. Shirley famously helped stage Paula Jones's, this is from Media Matters, 1994 circus-like press conference. Shirley viewed the president as a moral leper. I was speaking of Bill Clinton. And he's the he's the PR flack for Ann Coulter, Dinesh D'Souza, Hobby Lobby, Citizens United, the NRA, the Club for Growth, the Heritage Foundation, the Tea Party Patriots, Andrew Breitbart, John Bolton, Sarah Palin, and Rick Perry. Is or has been. And now he's trying to suppress this book on Reagan, which makes me really want to read this book about Reagan. Rick Perlstein has a new book. We got to get Rick on the show here and find out about that. He literally wants these books destroyed. The book is called Invisible Bridge: The Fall of Richard Nixon and the Rise of Ronald Reagan. And apparently Shirley had written a book about Reagan, talking about how wonderful he was, and Perlstein paraphrases some of the facts in that book, and therefore Shirley is suing him for plagiarism, among other things. But facts are not subject to copyright. You can't copyright a fact. So if somebody says a fact and you quote them as saying that fact, or you simply cite that fact, that's not quite. But anyhow, so we live in this country now where increasingly we've got these giant corporations that are not answerable to anybody, that don't have competition, that are reading your email, and what are we going to do about this other than repeal Reaganomics?
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
I really, it's like that presidency, that 8 years of the Reagan presidency did more damage to this country than anything since the Great Depression.